Welcome to Salad with a Side of Fries. I'm your host, Jen Trepic, talking wellness and weight loss for real life. We're here to clear up the myths, misinformation, bad science, and marketing to teach you how to eat and how to cheat. Are you ready? I'm having salad with a side of fries. This week, we're talking about sparkling ice. Now, this is a flavored sparkling water, and actually one of you sent it in, so big shout out and thank you to Sarah for emailing this one. She was asking about flavored sparkling waters, said she likes this brand, so we added it to the list for Nutrition Nuggets. And I'm curious if you've had these. I have seen them. I've never tried them myself. So I went to the website to dig into this for Sarah and all of you. And I noticed so they have classic formulas, and then they have some with caffeine and some with energy. So with all of them, we're going to read the labels. We want to know what we're getting. I figured for today, we'll start with the classic formula. So in the marketing callouts, they say 0 grams of sugar, 0 carbs, color from natural sources with a splash of vitamins and antioxidants. So I always love this splash of vitamins. The first flavor that they had listed was the grape raspberry. So I went with that one. So it says 5 calories per serving, contains 1% juice, caffeine-free. Antioxidants per serving are 135 micrograms RAE vitamin A. So RAE is retinol activity equivalence for vitamin A. So this is really, it accounts for the different bioactivity of retinol and provitamin A carotenoids, because what happens is that then in the body, it's converted into vitamin A or converted into retinol. So I know everybody is like, I don't even know what that means. So essentially, it's telling you what's going to happen with it. And then it says, not a significant source of saturated fat, trans fat, cholesterol, dietary fiber, total sugars, added sugar, calcium, iron, or potassium. So that's interesting. Then it says the percent daily value, which normally we don't look at, right, when we're reading the labels, but it's 15% on all of them. So the vitamin A, vitamin D, and then it was 3 micrograms, which is really nothing. Niacin, B6, B12, biotin, pantothenic acid, another B vitamin. So essentially, the amount of vitamins in here is really not doing anything for us, right? Like it's for show, more or less, right? So then I went looking also at the ingredients because I want to know more, right? I want the source of those vitamins and want to see what else is in there. So it says carbonated water, natural flavors, malic acid, apple juice concentrate, potassium benzoate for, it says to ensure freshness, fruit and vegetable juice for color, citric acid, tartaric acid, sucralose, raspberry juice concentrate, green tea extract, gum arabic, retinol, so the vitamin A, niacinamide, B3, ester gum, calcium pantothenate, which is your B5, cholecalciferol, which is D3, biotin, cyanocobalamin, B12, and pyridoxine hydrochloride, which is B6. So I took a step back. Malic acid feels very high on this ingredient list. It was number 3 in this one on the ingredients. You know, I'm not the biggest fan of juice. This one's even juice from concentrate and then more juice for color. Sucralose as the sweetener, you know, people are kind of polarized on sucralose. So you decide, you know, for you, if that works for you. And then the green tea extract was interesting to me because it says there's no caffeine. So either there's so little of the green tea extract in here that it's a negligible amount of caffeine, or they're using a decaf green tea extract, which does have some health benefits, but we don't know what the green tea extract is that they're using, right? We don't know the source. We don't know the quality. We don't know how much. And then because they're not actually touting any of the benefits of having it in there, I'm honestly a little confused because it's not a cheap ingredient to put in there, right? So I don't know. I'm confused is the bottom line on that one. And then, like we said when we were going through, the vitamins there, you're likely just peeing them out. They're really small quantities. They're also not in the form that allow for the best or ideal absorption or even most absorption. So they're probably not really doing anything. Now, I looked at a different flavor just because I was curious. So I went to the black cherry because that's probably one that I would pick. On this one, it's basically the same. The malic acid is the number 2 ingredient, which is a little concerning for me. Listen, let me just say, it is generally recognized as safe, but we also know that that is in very low quantities, and there are people who have reactions to it. So ultimately, the same conclusions on this other flavor. Lindsay, you are a guest this week. With your gut health expertise, what are your thoughts, not just on this one, but also even just carbonated water?
I know some people will, have burping or more gas because of carbonated beverages. Most of the people I deal with are long past drinking that kind of stuff. Like they're down to water and maybe coffee or tea. But a product like this, I would probably say, well, I don't know about the sucralose. I'd try and find one with stevia, but probably won't hurt you. That's really what people want to know at the end of the day. Is this going to hurt me?
Exactly. And I think, that's where it comes down to how much are we having? How often are we having it? I think I'm inclined to go back to some of the recommendations that I put in. We did a nutrition nugget on healthier sodas. And my favorite thing to do is just take some plain club soda and add my own berries to it, especially if you add frozen berries. As they melt, it ends up giving more flavor and they're like ice cubes. You can add other fruit yourself. Like that's where I tend to lean on these because ultimately this is pretty costly water, and a lot of ingredients in there for something that says it's not giving you much of anything, Yeah,
or in Latin America, they do like all of the fruits in water and they just blend up the fruit in water and then you're getting actual fruit. Like you can have pineapple, you can have papaya. And those have great digestive enzymes, great to have before your meal.
Exactly. Yeah. But then to your point too, right? Like every now and then is one of these things going to hurt you? No, right? But it's about what's the majority of the liquid that we're getting in our system and figuring out what works for each of us. And that's the beauty of all of it, right? That we all get to make our own choices and decide what works best for us. And the other thing that I always remind my clients with this stuff is the choices that you're willing to make today are different than the choices you might be willing to make in 6 weeks or 6 months or 6 years. And so if this works for you, awesome. And in time, you might be ready to try another alternative, right? Again, the best part is you get to decide. So there you have it. Sarah and everybody, sparkling ice. So as always, everyone, I'm your host, Jen Trepeck. Connect with me on Instagram or all social media. I'm at Jen Trepeck, JENN. TREPECK. Website is asaladwithasideofries.com. Pick your platform, send a message. I love hearing from you, your ideas for nutrition nuggets, your takeaways, your questions. This is also the easiest way to learn more about working with me as your health coach. Lindsay Parsons, thank you again for being here.
It was my pleasure. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. And friends, if you are not already, join our membership by going to glow.fm/salad with a side of fries. This shows your support for this podcast, this community, and most importantly, your health. You'll get this week's recipe for the 1-pan honey lemon chicken and asparagus. Well, friends, that's it for today's episode of Salad with a Side of Fries. Congratulations for making yourself and your health a priority. Thanks so much for joining us. Be sure to click subscribe or follow on your favorite podcast platform. Share us with a friend, and we'll be back next week. Always remember, you deserve it, and you are worth it. Happy healthy.